Today is July 11th. The following is a recording of the agency report concerning the evidence collected on July 11th. The data that was analyzed includes word choice analysis in the letter, word choice analysis in the scrap letters found, and crime parameters. The type of analysts include, but are not limited to, psychological profiles and incident parameter analysis. The conclusions that have been reached include when word choice of the letter was analyzed alongside the scrap letters that were found, a high enough frequency now emerged to confirm a pattern. The specific words that were chosen within the sentence indicate a high level of maturity for the author. Furthermore, the slant of the writing along with the setup of the sentence structure indicates a significant wariness of their surroundings and/or others. The administration of the letter demonstrates a strategic flair given that the letter was not delivered, though more conventional and more easily traceable methods. The recommended steps involved gather intel from any present local inhabitants and information about the hearthstone itself, and assessing motivation traits of all possible suspects.
Well, we certainly have run into more locals than I expected with the castle gone.
Many left after the castle fell, but most have returned, and I believe there are even some new residents.
You seem to know a lot about this area.
It's nice to know that there are still people around.
So you think the people here would notice if there were strangers about?
Maybe, but there are plenty of people who travel the road. This is a good place to stop and rest.
Would the locals know anything about the Hearthstone?
Look, given that the students will remember what I ate for breakfast when even I can't remember, I wouldn't put it past anyone. Besides, the castle's destruction had a huge impact on basically their backyard.
People do tend to notice what happens in their own backyard. It might be a matter of trust, though. We may have to convince them to be willing to talk to us.
Was it just me, or did anyone feel that the motivation traits were quite broad? I mean, strategic?
One cannot possibly work with a group of talented and precocious magical prodigies without being strategic. You wouldn't survive. Aren't we all strategic?
I think the Magical Eye Detective Agency was referring to the primary traits of a person, something that multiple examples could be provided for to illustrate a particular point.
Did you notice that this time the reports mentioned and rather than or when discussing the two traits? The previous times there was an or between the two attributes.
I noticed that as well. However, I do wish the villain was quite trusting. They could self-identify themselves and trust me with the information.
And trust that actions have consequences.